All right, party people, we are going to warm up the start of draft season with something that's probably a little stupid. This is a massive freaking grind, this mock draft time. We've got hours and hours and hours. Why do I keep freaking disappearing? I got a light coming for today. Let me turn this light on. My blinding freaking light. All right, maybe that'll help a little bit. I got a light coming so it doesn't look like I'm in a dungeon with no lights. I swear, all the lights are on here. I don't know why it looks like that. Anyways, back to what's important. Lots and lots and lots of streaming. I'm going to be sitting here hanging out with you guys for several days. If you're not subscribed, either on the old X or YouTubes, please do that because me and Jacob and Clayton and all the boys are going to be having a good old time. But why not get warmed up with lots and lots and lots of streaming by doing lots and lots and lots of streaming? We have 18 phone calls, and you guys know that I do not like, doing a Packernet After Dark after a big event going backwards. In other words, I don't want to do a Packernet After Dark tomorrow after we've already made the pick and have people call in like, I think we're going to pick this guy in the first round. Like, bro, that's over with. So we got to get caught up. So why don't we go ahead and get caught up? Please let me know if the audio is messed up, if you can't hear this, as soon as is humanly possible so I don't get all the way through this. But let's get started with Uncle Rico.
Go, Ryan.
Turn it up a little bit.
Your uncle,
Hey.
Rico. What's up, bro?
Going
Have you
on?
watched Draft Day yet? You better watch
No,
Draft Day,
I haven't
Ryan.
seen it. I don't want to
telling
see
ya.
it. I just don't.
Anyways, I just wanted to say one thing.
I don't know why.
That I've been listening to a little Clayton Bailey, and I know before, I'm listening to Clayton because Ryan.
By the way, you might be wondering why Kamari Lassiter's up here. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I have this screen so I can pull stuff up. I don't have anything to pull up necessarily right now. I could just put it away, but then you're just staring at an enlarged vision of my face, which is stupid. So we're going to look at Kamari Lassiter. So enjoy yourself. Please continue.
Slacker. I haven't found any Ryan, or I don't know how to work my freaking thingy here, so
Shut
maybe
up,
it's out
Uncle
there. I just
Rico.
can't find it. Anyway, just giving you a hard time, Ryan. Love you, bro.
It's all good.
Anyway, Clayton Bailey. I did before. One time I said, I don't know about that guy, because I think we had a little clash of opinions maybe on some stuff, but putting all that aside, I've really grown to appreciate Clayton's intelligence. Dude seems like he's some kind of wizard. So, Clayton, if you get any of this, I appreciate you, appreciate your intelligence, appreciate your opinion. Sometimes it's not my opinion on some of the players' thingies, but, long story. But anyways, go Clayton. Appreciate your hard work on the draft, perspectives and your opinions on the players. Thank you. All right, Rico out. Y'all be good. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I don't know where all that came from with Clayton. I mean, when it started, Clayton was just like another me, just like talking opinions, talking football, whatever. And all of a sudden, he's like, we're going to start breaking this down. And it's just like, all of a sudden, I don't know if he just taught himself overnight or if he just knew it and was holding it back for a while, but he's going down the train of hardcore like film analysis stuff. I'm like, all right, man, do your thing. I don't know nothing about all that, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, he's super into that stuff. It's funny because I never like this. I can't win this no matter what. I'm really bad about listening to other podcasts, including podcasts that are on my own network. And occasionally it's like there's this feeling that there's like this tension or whatever because like we have differing opinions. I don't know if we have differing opinions. I know that doesn't help anything because it's like, oh, you're not listening, you're a douche. Fair enough. But I promise you there is no like tit for tat back and forth stuff because I don't know what other people's opinions are. And so like sometimes I step into it on social media too, where I come out and I say something. I didn't realize all of social media is going to hate me for that. But I just say, I start the podcast, I say what I think, and I move on. That's it. I don't know. Too Old for This says, what up, Ryan? I had to download Twitter just to get a Fogo gift card. I'm already regretting it. Bro, where is it here? Bing, bang, boom. Here we go. Check this bad boy out right here. This is what you got to do. I'm not even messing around with you. Everybody that's in here right now, this is the form you got to fill out. 2024 Packernet Draft Predictorama. You're already doing your mock drafts. Just get in here. Who are they going to pick and what round? Who's the second pick? What round? Go all the way through. Then, I'm not going to show the sheet, but there is a sheet that has everybody's predictions in it. And once the draft is done, it's going to get scored, and 2 people are going to win a $125 gift card. Let me put the link for this in this comment section right here. So there's no excuse. If you're here right now, boom, bang, hopefully that comes through all right. On YouTube and Facebook it went through. X, I don't know. I don't see it on there. That's fine. I put it on Twitter every 5 seconds, so there's no excuse. But go fill out that Google Doc right now. You don't even have to watch this anymore. Just screw this guy. Go fill it out. $125 Fogo Brazilian Steakhouse gift card. It's all good. Also, since we're doing that whole thing, Fogo, check it out. Fogo 44, put it in. If you're making a reservation, you're going to get your meal for $44. And Ticket King. Don't forget about Ticket King, man. Lowest ticket prices, Wisconsin-based. It's all written right there. You can see it. You know it. You love it. Who's next on the docket here? We've got Seth in Iowa.
Hey, Ryan. What's up?
Going on?
I had a quick thought for you regarding Isaiah McDuffie. So I'm listening to a lot of the Packers people, different podcasts, different news guys, different people on Twitter, whatever, talking a lot about the need for an inside linebacker. And I don't disagree with we might need some depth, but I do disagree with that we have a huge hole, or at least I'm hoping so. I thought McDuffie looked really good last year. But he was really quick. He was very instinctive, really good on the run stop. He also has some history as athlete. And I think a lot of people forget this, but I think, if I remember right, he's only like 26. Maybe not even. Maybe
no,
he was like 24 last year.
Yeah, he's 24.
He's really
right
young. And I think we forget that. And I just think he could be a really good role player. So while we'll be playing 3 essentially middle linebackers now, and I don't know that we have a third one. I mean, maybe some special teamers that technically could play it. So maybe we need one more, but I know that they've said that third guy doesn't actually play that much because we play so much in nickel. So I just don't know if there's as much of a need as a lot of fans think there is. I don't know if Gutekunst thinks there's as much of a need as everyone else does. So I will not be surprised at all if we don't draft a middle linebacker until, later rounds, maybe pick up 1 or 2 for depth, and in case McDuffie, doesn't play as well as the help or something. Granted, there's always that chance that even if that's their plan going into the draft, if, someone high on their board falls, that they end up taking someone higher. But I don't know, it's just my thought on middle linebacker. And I also think Hafley's a former DD coach, so I think DD is going to be a higher priority, especially filling out I did one more safety maybe, and I think I'd like to see another cornerback. So I think both of those are higher priority for me than linebacker. And I don't know if this has changed for Gutekunst or if it's been because of the D coordinators, but it seems historically that we don't care we don't care a ton about middle linebacker. And then we kind of did a little bit with Joe Barry, and I don't know if we still will, or if that'll kind of fall back off, but I guess we'll find out. So, anyways, just wanted to chat a little bit about McDuffie. Talk to you later.
Yeah, so, looks like I got rid of it, but, so McDuffie didn't grade out fantastic. I think most of us really like him, though. It's one of those things where PFF's like, a little below average, and we're like, nah, screw you. No, he's really good. And I'm fine with that. Sometimes I just don't care. I disagree. I think he's fine. There is still an issue here, though, because we essentially have 2, and I have gone on record saying I kind of like Eric Wilson, but similarly to Isaiah McDuffie, but it's not fantastic. I think Quay has not really been very good, and there's a hope that he's going to break out, but he's kind of just like whatever. McDuffie grades out as below average. Wilson, mostly a special teamer, has some starting experience with the Vikings, but we don't really have a lot of guys. And then if you come over here, I just picked the Bears because I wanted to pick a 4-3 team. You can see the difference in how much guys play, right? Their top guy, 1,000 snaps. Edmonds was 800, 900. And then number 3 was about 400. So it's still a good amount of snaps, right? It's like the number 3 doesn't play as much. That's true, but if it's 400 snaps, that's kind of a lot. So that means right now Eric Wilson is playing 400 snaps for us this year. And I just don't think that's the greatest option. Even if they like McDuffie, and I do like Wilson, but we need more. We at the very least, I'm going to pull a Gutekunst and just say we need competition. Gotta love competition. Just get guys in there so they can at least compete. Worst case scenario, it's Quay, McDuffie, and Wilson. And then if there's any injuries, we're screwed. It just is what it is. But I think at the very least we need to get a few guys in, just see if anyone can win some spots. Too Old for This real quick says, when is the doc due? I will accept anything up until like the first card gets turned in. Once the Bears select Caleb Williams, it's done, right? So make sure it's in. Or just do it right now. Just do it. Just go do it. K Killeran says, the longest day waiting for the draft. It's part of the reason why I wanted to do this, man. Just something to do in the meantime while we, wait and wait. Street King, I can't wait for tonight. Going to throw some burgers on before it starts so I can pound bourbon while it's going on. I was thinking about, like, what should I do? Should I grill? Should I this? It's like, first of all, I got too much to do. I just did my bonus episode, if you didn't see that. Bonus Packernet episode is up, and then I'm going to do this, and then we got the stream, and I kind of want to do a little bit of music because I'm digging the music thing. Might maybe tip my hand a little bit. I'm planning, I probably shouldn't say it, but a Caleb Williams diss song in preparation for the for the Bears selecting him. Like, as soon as they draft him, I'm going to drop a freaking diss song. It's going to be great. Let's see. Just filled out the form today. Just slide me the gift card already. No need to wait. I got this locked up. That's fine with me, man. That's fine. I think I'm going to do it too, and if I win, I'll just remove myself because they're already offering to let me go, which is very nice. Fogo is fantastic, so I'm going to hit them up on that. How are you scoring the picks? Does the order we pick them in matter? I'll be honest, I didn't make the form. I don't remember the rules, but it's probably like Dwight from The Office when he rigged that form so that it ended up a certain way. The guy that created it probably rigged it so that he wins, but I don't know. It's like a point a pick, or maybe it's 2 points for the player, 1 point for the round would probably make sense, something like that. Go, Pack Daddy, go. Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate you. Too Old for This says, the only need we have in this draft is Ladd McConkey. So if you listen to the bonus episode, I got some good news on Ladd McConkey. Nothing to do with the Packers necessarily, just that he's a good. The stats back up that he's a good football player. I think Packers trade up for a DB to 15 to 19-ish, then draft Colson and Nealon in the second rounds. Could be. Or maybe they just draft Nealon in the first round. I'm just saying. I don't know why that's been like in the back of my head lately. Something about it. And I haven't really looked in a ton to Nealon, but every time I see him, I'm like, I just feel like that's something they would do. They would take Nealon at 25. Jeremiah Trotter in the second, could be. Tired of passing on pedigree, and I don't mean JRJ. Who are you thinking of? Trey Taylor? Who's the pedigree guy? I just want Colson Gray or Eichenberg. I'd be fine with that. I'm an Eichenberg fan. I got some pulled pork ready for tonight. Bro, you're making me jealous, man. See, and I was even thinking if I'm going to do food, I should do something that's kind of a lot. Not like a burger or something, but just something that it's like I can just make a plate of it. And like a plate of pulled pork would be kind of cool. Bring on the music, DJ Pack Daddy. Bro, I wanted to have something ready for maybe this show. And then I was going to do it for the stream, but I'm collaborating with Clayton. He's going to be running it, so he's going to have all the controls, so I can't just be like, oh, you're forced to listen to my music now. Haha, suck it. So, anyways, I'll be tinkering with that in the background, the music and stuff, while the draft's going on. All right, let us continue. We've got some Pedro, the redhead from Brazil.
Hey, Ryan, it's me.
Hey.
It's the man from Brazil, man. What's up?
What's up, dude?
So, I'm hearing a lot of talk about this.
Bro, we got to do a Pedro song. So I did, by the way, you can drop it in the comments. I'll try to go back and find it if you want. And we'll see if people did call in with it. I did request, let me know like what kind of music you like, whatever. Otherwise, I'm just going to do some salsa crap or what. I'm just going to stereotype the crap out of you because I don't know anything about Brazil. I'm just going to be like, mariachi music. Like, I don't know, dude. But Yeah, I can't wait to do a Pedro song. You know what I mean? It's gonna be so good.
Brazil game and some doubts that people have, so we're just going to try to answer some.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first and foremost about the color, the green color teams and stuff. Just imagine, there's going to be like a soccer game or something. They're in America, and it's going to be in Soldier Field, and the two teams that are going to play are green teams. That's the situation. So it's not like a rule that, oh, you can't play here with green. No, it's not that severe, but it's not exactly comfortable for the team that's the host.
Pedro's in the house, by the way. He says, I'm a rock and hip-hop kind of guy. All right, we can make that work.
But I don't think that's going to...
I'm still going to stereotype you. It's going to be like a... who are those guys? I can't even think of them now. The like Hispanic rapper guys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a douche.
Be a major issue of just that they're trying to
Portuguese punk.
Pretend that there's a problem because of the fans, but I don't believe that it's going to be any kind of issue. About the cheering and how much we're talking about this game here. It's still a little niche because it's not that close. Next month when the tickets start selling and stuff, I believe we're going to talk a little bit more, but right now, people that are talking about are people that already follow the NFL. So, yeah, but I believe that will change. It's going to be like a huge event. It's like it's our Super Bowl here, you know. It's like one life at a time thing. So
yeah,
one time a life thing. So yeah, it's going to be a huge event. Not everybody's going to be a football fan, and the way we cheer, we're going to scream and cheer the whole game. Not only on defense, we're going to do the wave. It's going to be cool for us, but maybe not so cool for you guys. So yeah, that's about it. Any other doubts that anyone has, you can send me a Twitter or something, or I'll keep this call and trying to talk to you guys, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Glad we have a resident Brazilian that can answer all our questions about Brazil, from colors and cheering to Elon Musk and censorship. Garrett says, I got 2 frozen California pizzas in the queue. What is a California pizza? I bet it's awful. What is it? Is it vegan vegetable pizza? Because I don't want to eat that. I love pizza, and I would love to go across the country and try different pizzas. I'm not doing California pizza. I can't do it. I'm going to have Packernet Live Draftcast on the iPad and Pat Mack with Bill Belichick on ESPN. Oh, I saw that, and I was like, dang it. Dude, I can't compete with Bill Belichick, bro. Granted, he sucked at drafting down the stretch there, but still. It's tough when you got a guy who was in the war room who's like, yeah, I'll hang out with you guys and talk draft. Hearing what Bill Belichick has to say about like what he thinks the Packers are going to do and like I'm going to stop hyping it up. It's probably going to suck. It's don't even worry about it. Let's see. Daryl says, what's up, brother? The outro song you did the other day was awesome. Yeah, I freaking love that. I mean, some of them are better than others. Sometimes it's just screwing around. The one I did today, I was laughing so hard. It's just stupid, but I was laughing. But some of them are legit. Like, that's just a good song. I'm not loving all the Justin Herbert to the Vikings rumors I'm hearing. I don't think that's going to happen. If it happens, I'm going to need more 4-letter words for this evening. I don't know why they would do that. He's a very good quarterback. You got paid a ton of money to come in and coach a team, and you're going to just gut your team by getting rid of the quarterback? I think that's nonsense. California is a brand that has unique high-end ingredients, hot pepper special meats. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man. When the Zach Tom episode dropped, I was as happy as Jerry Stiller in Zoolander when he was waiting for Magnum to come out and it finally showed up. Oh, man. Pedro, what's going on, dude?
Hey, Ryan, it's me again.
Hey.
Pedro the Red from Brazil.
What's going on, Mike?
So, enough talking about the Brazil game. Now I want to talk about the draft and the values of the players. So, I was thinking here, and, you know, all those charts of position value and stuff, for offense, for defense, whatever. I was thinking that maybe, on the last couple of years or so, with all the rule changes and how the officials are calling the game and stuff, the offensive positions are having more value than the defensive ones. I'm not talking about defensive line or some that kind of stuff, because pass rush is obviously always important. But when you talk about the DBs, man, I don't know if it's a coincidence that most teams that won the Super Bowl in the last years are major offensive teams. And even the teams that didn't won but got to the Super Bowl, like the Bengals, they are more offensive teams and invest more on offense than on defense, mostly, you know. At least that's the impression I have. And I think that's because the rule changes, so we are protecting so much the offense that it's making hard for the defensive players, especially the DBs, make a difference in the game. And yeah, so maybe the Packers' strategy of investing heavily on defense and not so much on offense, in comparison with other teams, you know, maybe it's not the solution. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here, and I want to know your thoughts. Okay, talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it would require some investigation, that's for sure. Here are my initial thoughts. Number one, this is the Chiefs, who can't stop winning the Super Bowl. And it's a good, healthy amount of defense, especially early. I mean, pass rusher, corner, linebacker have been the last 3 years. So I would say draft whatever you want as long as you have Pat Mahomes. or in our case, do whatever you want as long as you have Jordan Love. The other thought, obviously, is offense is important. That's why it's important to, number one, have an offense, and number two, stop an offense. So those would be my counterpoints. But there's probably some truth in there somewhere. I'm sure somebody can do some investigative work and, find out that offense is a better thing to draft. Daryl says, are you doing a separate live video for the draft later? Yes, sir. It's going to start at, I think, 6:30. It's going to be the same crew as last year, so me and Clayton and Jacob and a bunch of other people. Basically, Clayton's now whole crew, and I'm going to be tagging on with that. But whatever, that's what it's going to be. It'll be on this YouTube channel, his YouTube channel, probably both of our Twitters, and all over the place. So you shouldn't be able to miss it. We'll be doing it all 3 days. The whole time. It's going to be fantastic. Caldwell Corner says, I wish so badly the first day was rounds 1 and 2 instead of just 1. I don't mind the way that it's structured, because day 1 there's so much hype that it's tolerable that there's just one pick. Like if it was day 3, you just get one pick, I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't do it. So they do it right. Day 1 there's so much hype. It's just 1. The next day, it's just about as much hype, especially since you know most of those prospects, and you get 2. Generally, in our case, you get, 4? And then, the last day is like, well, this is going to be rough. It's like, yeah, but you're getting a bunch of picks. It's going to be crazy. You should come hang out. So, works for me. So, do we already know who is the athletic freak defensive player, probably under 22, that JJ hates, so we can know who Goot will draft? I don't think we know that yet. We'll have to see. JJ is in Detroit right now, so reach out to him and see who it is that he likes that we are going to draft. Drew says, let's go. It's draft day. Jackson Powers will be a Packer today. I would be really surprised if it was Jackson Powers Johnson. I know a lot of people would love it, but he's just such a big, not very athletic looking guy in my mind. Who gets the loudest boos? Commissioner Goodell or whoever the Commanders pick? Why would the Commanders get booed? I feel like the Packers are the ones that are going to get booed the most. Let's see. I'm in California. I don't know what a California pizza is. Yes, it's probably awful. Give me a deep dish or give me a classic. I see. Now, all right, let's do another call here. I'm going to pull up. Is it just called California pizza? California is a brand. Okay. So while the call is going, I want to look it up and see what kind of pizza we got. Speaking of pizza, what's up, Jersey Mike?
Hey, Ryan, this is Jersey Mike. Sorry, I lost my voice, so it's going to be a little hard to hear me for right now. But I'm going to get you that list. I'm going to get you to my...
I think you just sent it to me, didn't you? Your list of, I think you just did. Here we go. Google Docs, top 10 for each position. All right, let me pull that up while you're talking here.
At least
access
the morning
denied.
Of draft day.
Great.
And then you'll be able to see. But
okay.
You probably won't care. But anyway,
I don't have access. So.
I'm trying to finalize it here, and I ran into a prospect that I was completely ignoring, and I don't know why he slipped my radar. But Catan Oladapo, safety out of Oregon State.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a guy that never gives up on a play.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the turnover guy. And the more that I think about it, the more I listen to Jeff Hafley speak in the interviews that he does with the media. It just sounds like he's kind of that guy. I'm in love with Trey Taylor, but the Katana Ladapo, oh my geez. He's constantly punching the ball out or coming up with an interception. I mean, his whole entire highlight video is just nothing but that. And I mean, it's a significant amount of time. You've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes of him punching the ball out or taking the ball away. It's insanity. I don't think any other player in the league has 4 minutes of punching the ball out and taking the ball away.
Who was that? Peanut Tillman? That dude
so,
was a beast.
So yeah, that's where I am with him. I don't know how he is in between plays. I haven't watched film at him at all. I just see what scouts have written about him. But that seems to me what Jeff Hafley's looking for. So yeah, what do you think? Go Pack, go.
Yeah, so I'm all in on Oladapo. We've talked about him a lot on Derailed. It's kind of almost a running joke at this point. But I tell you what, there's a lot of guys that are coming into focus for me at safety, and I talk a lot about it on the bonus episode that dropped. Kind of the intersection between like the group of guys that sort of fit the strong safety role and the guys that are at the top of all the statistical lists. It's just a circle, right? Like it's just a perfect overlap. First of all, Nubin, I'm a big fan of Nubin. He's kind of the early round. I've said before, I like Nubin a lot. I think there's better value if you're talking 4th, 5th. I mean, Trey Taylor's like a 7th round / undrafted free agent guy. Like, yeah, I think that might be better value. Who else do we have here though? Let's see. Cole Bishop, I like a lot. He wasn't on the high statistical stuff. Malik Mustafa. Really important guy to pay it. Actually, it's these 3 right here, and technically 4. Bo Braid is another slightly potential, but Malik Mustafa right here is legit, real high up on a lot of the statistical categories, and Tyke Smith might be one of my favorites. I think he's 5'10", same with Mustafa. I don't really give a crap. They're both pretty built, over 200. Malik is 210, but Tyke Smith, man, this guy is like at the top of, including coverage, not just tackling, but he's a good tackler, all that stuff. I think he'd be a real good, strong safety guy. But 202, he plays for a big program. I mean, there's no real knocks on these guys. They got solid RAS scores. But yeah, I mean, you give me Mustafa, Oladapo, Tyke Smith, Bo Braid, Cole Bishop, any of those guys, maybe Bullard. I can't remember my thoughts on Bullard, but this is my freaking jam right here. Get Kinchins out of there and give me these guys. I'm all in, man. I like those guys a lot. Detroit style is so good. So I haven't had official, like I've had kind of that style, like it's just like a big square and it's kind of crusty all up on the side, but I don't think I've ever had like legit Detroit style pizza, and I would love to do that sometime. I could be doing it today if I was at the draft, but I'm not. I hear you about the Herbert trade being unlikely, but the more I think about it, I don't know. Harbaugh knows McCarthy, what he can do, so he can get him. I mean, that would be pretty wild if you think about it. I mean, McCarthy is. I would also like it because I'm just doing the whole podcast from today now. I'm all in on the Vikings coming up for Drake May. That used to scare me. Like, bro, I hope they don't get Drake. I hope they get stuck with JJ. Drake sucks. Drake May is garbage. He's not good. So I hope they have to pay extra to come up and get Drake May. And then, whatever. But that's a separate thing. But no, that does make some kind of sense. I think JJ was pretty impressive. McCarthy, that is. And, I mean, if you want to risk it and you kind of hit the reset button, I don't know this guy. Been a long time. We're going to go with the young, talented guy. I know I can work with him, and we're going to get a massive haul. I can't even imagine. It would suck if the Vikings got him a little bit, that's for sure, but they would have to pay out of the freaking nose to get that guy. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Let's see. The Georgia guys are both solid. Agreed. Yeah, dude. I'm all in on Tyke Smith. I can't remember what I thought about. I thought I liked Bullard, but I can't remember. Some of these guys, like I know I didn't like Hicks. I don't think I like Bullock, but I just, it gets a little hazy. But again, this is my range right here. Not a fan of the Texas Tech safety. Which one is that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I ever watched him. Dadrian Teller Demerson. I don't think I did. He might be in that range too. I don't know. But I just know when I looked at stuff kind of statistically and whatnot, he didn't pop up on my radar as like the hitter, the tackler, that kind of stuff. Is this the craziest draft we've been a part of? The projected trades and just the variability. Yeah, so this is from Daniel. It does seem like this is going to be a wild draft. So there's supposed to be a massive amount of trades. First of all, number one, because there are a lot of teams panicking, partially because there's a lot of quarterbacks, and there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. The Vikings, it sounds like the battle to get up to like 4 or 5 is going to be psychotic. The Giant, let's look at it real quick. Let's just take a little peek. I talked about this the other day, but the rumors about like coming into Arizona Chargers territory, and New England technically is they said they're open for business, but who knows? But I've seen rumors about Atlanta possibly. I know they have Cousins, but they're going to need another option. Atlanta possibly making calls. You've got Minnesota desperate to get up. The Giants very desperate to get up, apparently, even though they're being real sneaky about it, pretending they're good with their quarterback. You got Denver and Las Vegas trying to get up. And who was the other one? Was it New Orleans, maybe? There was somebody else there was a rumor about they're really trying to get up also. But that's just quarterbacks. And like I said, who knows if somebody else wants to come up? Who knows if, Tennessee wants to get up to Arizona so that they can jump the Chargers and get Joe Alt? The Jets are desperate to get help for Aaron Rodgers. Who's to say they wouldn't try to come up here and get a wide receiver or something, So I think this is going to be psychotic. And then a lot of these teams that don't get what they want, their rumor is they're going to trade back. So, that's still trades. And then you got other stuff going on. Buffalo desperately wants to come up here, like inside of the top 20 to grab a receiver to replace what's-his-nuts that they lost. The Chiefs apparently really trying to come up. So absolutely insane draft, I think, is coming up today. But then on top of that, this is supposedly going to break the record for the most offensive players ever drafted. So, gonna be interesting, man. Elevated Shine, excited about tonight. Let's go. I'm pumped, man. That's part of the reason I wanted to do this draft marathon. Just to keep myself occupied, keep myself busy. Street King says Bo Nix is the guy this draft. Oh, I'm with you. I think Bo Nix at the very least belongs in the category with the top guys. Right? Penix, you could say, does too. So the list is, let me just show you. Let me show you what I was working with today. So let's go. Here is 33rd team. So this is SIS's data. The funny thing is the top guys are always, for the most part, they're always together. Let me get something here. So look, you got Daniels, Nix, Caleb, Penix, and JJ, right? Who's missing? Drake May. There's 20 quarterbacks. These guys are always together in a group. Drake May is always at or below the bottom. Bo Nix, I'm with you. You've heard me talk about it. Bo Nix is my guy for sure. I like Bo Nix a lot. I think Caleb looks good. I think JJ looks good. I don't like Penix. Jaden, all I can think is he's Justin Fields, and that just immediately. I mean, I know Caleb. He's got fumbling issues and holds on to the ball too long and processing issues and all that, but Jaden, just everything they talk about just reminds me of Fields, so I just don't care. But watching Bo Nix and Michael Pratt are two guys that I'm like, just saying. But almost any time you go into this, you've got like, oh, where is he? Oh, there's Drake May. He's not with the group. Like, oh, there's Drake May. He's not with the group. Look at this. Penix, Williams, McCarthy, Daniels, Nix. Where's Drake May? Every one of these categories you go through, it's the top guys are the top guys, and Drake May is somewhere down here. I want the Vikings to go up and get May so bad. I want them to overpay so that they can jump and not get J.J. McCarthy, and J.J. can go off and be great, and Drake May is a piece of garbage. I mean, not that this means everything. It's just, it is so consistent with every single thing you can find. All the top guys, all the guys that we're talking about, including Bo Nix and Penix, are at the top. Drake May is below them. Like it's so consistent. Screw that guy, man. I'm sorry, but I don't think you have no, bro. I have a problem with tabs, and I hate having tabs open. But I go through and do inventory, and it's like I need that. I'm a psychopath with how much stuff I have. All right, let's see. Going over the safety stuff. What round is someone taking Lauby, and why is it the Packers? Mega Tyler Irving jet sweep. Man, I love Lauby. I really do. Let's go back to Buzz here. The other site is not really working, but we can get Buzz going. And this one isn't as good because it doesn't give you the overall rankings. I don't know. Lauby's a late round guy. I mean, so one of the rumors that I talked about yesterday that's going on is they're talking about the running backs may not even start going until the third round and potentially late third round. At the very least, with the exception of maybe one or two of the top guys, don't even expect that. So round 4 is like when the running backs are going to start popping off, and there's a lot of running backs to go through, probably before you get to Lauby. So I would almost be surprised if he's drafted before the 5th round. So I have a feeling there's never going to be a scenario where I'm like, dude, I like Lauby, but that's a little early. I just don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see, man. It's going to be one of those things, too, where the 5th round rolls around. I'm like, dude, Lauby, come on, give me Lauby. And then the 6th round, and then the 7th round. He's probably going to be an undrafted free agent to the friggin' Buccaneers or something stupid. I think the Giants are trying to get 3 from New England. New England is fine with Penix if Daniels goes 2, I think. And that's the other game to play is how many quarterbacks do you like? If you like 4 quarterbacks and you're sitting at 3 or if you like 5 quarterback, whatever, like you can make that work. I've heard, who was it they were talking about? Somebody who might trade down and then try to trade back up. I'm like, you're an idiot. Don't do that. It might have been New England. I think that's a terrible strategy. Don't screw around with stuff like quarterbacks. I look forward to you and your son sharing your predictions so we can... Oh, he did a mock draft. Let me... So he did his one and only mock draft. So he did his entire board. I can show that too. I won't do that right now. Let's see if I can find it. Where's his mock draft? I just saved it as an image, I think. Here we go. So he did top 10 and for some positions top 20 for every single position, and then we did a mock draft last night. Here's what he came up with. Nate Wiggins, Kieran Amagaji, Chris Jenkins, Braylon Trice, Cole Bishop, Tanner Bortolini, Trevin Wallace, Isaac Garendo, Casey Washington, Tanner McLaughlin, and Deshaun Fenwick. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, that doesn't suck, man. Why are you... I don't know. He enjoys it, man. He's having a good time. I think I'd be happy with that mock, be completely honest. I'm a huge Braylon Trice fan. Cole Bishop is fantastic. Tanner Bortolini's great. Trevin Wallace is one of my favorite linebackers. Isaac Garendo's a freak. I think that'd be pretty solid. All right, let's do a call because we're kind of getting behind a little bit, and then we'll get back to some of these things. We still got 14 calls to do on this here marathon. Tom from Wyoming. What's going on, man?
Hey, it's Tyler again.
Tyler.
How's it going? Hope you're doing good. We finally made
How
it
did I get
to
Tom from
only
Wyoming?
a little less than a week until the draft now, so that's kind of cool. Seems like we've been waiting on this for forever. So I have a totally hypothetical question for
Homemade
you today.
drink.
What would you
Energy
do?
drink.
Let's say Brian somehow gets the top 3 picks in the draft. I mean 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Not like our top 3 picks.
Right.
He gets the top 3 picks somehow. And then he decides to go on vacation for the first day of the draft. And they're like, oh my God, we need to get someone in here who knows our draft prospects. And they're like, we know who does.
Yeah.
And they give you a ring. They pull you into the draft room, and they're like, all right, dude, you're picking our top 3. So who would you pick as our top 3 picks? Obviously, it's totally hypothetical. I know we don't really talk about, like, who you really like as the top 3 picks. I mean, we go for, like, what teams and such what they would pick, but I guess I don't really know. Maybe you said something similar, but who would be your top 3 picks, I guess?
It's a good question.
Kind of getting it. And then for number 2,
Let's go ahead and pause real quick. So, first of all, drop your comments in there and let me know what you think. I know there's going to be a lot of talk. You can't pass on a quarterback. Bro, listen, Jordan's the guy. We're basically in a Super Bowl window. I'm not screwing with that. Marvin Harrison's automatic. I would borderline want to go Harrison and Neighbors, but that's just craziness. I love our guys, but I mean, that would be nuts. there's so much offense, man. I mean, you got to take a wide receiver. Probably take Joe Alt. I don't know. Do you go Bowers? I mean, there's really no edge rush. I mean, you can't go 1, 2, 3 and go to a guy that's not even in the top 10 and take a guy that has massive injury issues or whatever. So it's all offense for sure. And you didn't say I couldn't trade, but let's just assume that that's a thing. Otherwise, I would just trade it and get every pick in all of existence. I mean, you could go 1, 2, 3, go Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, whatever one you like. Go Joe Alt and go Brock Bowers and just frickin' destroy everything. Other options would be Alt and Fashanu. Get the offensive line certainly shored up and then go Harrison or Neighbors. I think that's it, though. I don't know what else you would really do. You could go one of the top corners, but again, we're kind of reaching. Maybe you go like a Quinion. Might be a decent option. I don't know. What are you guys coming up with? Brooks room. Gotta watch the autocorrect when talking about Penix. Anyways, all right. Nobody has any thoughts, so we'll move off of that. What's part 2?
I was kind of thinking about actually Matt Corral, and I remember how much you enjoyed him.
He's so good.
It's kind of unfortunate that he's not in the NFL right now, but
I haven't given up on him. He'll come back. People just don't know. They just don't know. Wait until he, looks good somewhere where he goes and he comes back to the NFL and wins the Super Bowl. So just don't worry about it.
On that note, what would you think about doing maybe a top 3 in case somebody doesn't play or gets injured, but maybe a top 3 players of the season kind of thing where we kind of follow them around. Maybe not necessarily follow them around, but how they do per game. Someone you really enjoy. They don't have to end up on the Packers team, but someone you enjoy that you thought, man, that's just a good guy. That's a cool dude, cool cat. And maybe kind of follow him throughout whoever, throughout the season, kind of at the end of the podcast, do a quick player update. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, it could be you pick the top 3, or maybe have a poll for the audience to pick their top 3, or for your listeners kind of thing. I don't know. I just think that'd be kind of fun, just to have our player of the season kind of thing. Just to, hey, this week this guy got a 78 grade, 5 sacks, 2 tackles. Maybe he threw 2 touchdowns as well. Something kind of like that. Anyway, that's all I really have. I'm about ready to hit that 3-minute mark, and I just wanted to throw something out there. I'm excited for the draft, and go Pack, go! Let's go!
Yeah, I'm struggling with that. Here we go. You can tell draft people are losing their minds, man. They are just crashing the site like crazy. I was trying to think, who is the guy? Oh, it's Latham, I think. Latham. The only reason I'm saying that is I know he grew up a Packer fan. That's the only thing I can think of at this particular point in time. He grew up in West Dallas, I think, and is a Packer fan. I don't know that I know enough about a lot of these guys and their personalities and whatnot to have that kind of a guy again. I don't know, man. Sorry, I'm gonna just go ahead and take a pass on that. I don't really know the guy that I'm sort of rooting for here. I should get a guy, though, for sure. Somebody that I like so much that even when they go to another team, presumably not a team that I hate, which that list is getting smaller every year, but I can still root for him. I don't have that guy. I'm sorry. I just don't. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh, by the way, is this what we're talking about here with the pizza? This thing, I can't make this go away. It's oh, you have to pick it up. Shut up. I'm not buying your garbage pizza. Is it this thing? California Pizza? CaliforniaPizza.com.pk? Just wondering. Just curious. I'm nervous the Bears take Knicks. Bears ain't taking Knicks, bro. They're not taking it. They're taking Caleb. It's done. It's done. Get out of your head. With all the Williams hype, did they finally learn? Let's see. I got done talking with my Vikings fan friend who said he would lose it if they trade up for a quarterback because of what they'd likely have to. That's the thing. They'd have to give up a haul. So going into this, my whole hope was that they tried to get up and they can't. So they're stuck with Sam Darnold and they're garbage. And hopefully not garbage enough to get like a super top pick, but it's a real deep quarterback class right now. Like, just don't get in this. Suck next year where there's like one good quarterback and you're picking fifth. Haha, sucks to be you. Still can't see me. I keep disappearing. That's kind of my hope. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, especially with Drake May, I think that guy's bad. And on top of that, they're going to pay more to get up higher to jump so that they don't get stuck with J.J. McCarthy so that they can get Drake May. And I just think that's going to be a disaster. And they're going to have to give up a massive haul. Could be wrong. Maybe Drake May's fantastic and that ends up sucking. But I'm starting to hope that happens. I forgot who I picked in your Packers draft poll. I have no way of seeing it because I didn't put an email. I'll have to look at that and see how I'm going to track you down. I mean, you use a unique name, right? Like if you put Elevated Shine in there or something, I could find it. Did you put Elevated Shine? I don't know. We'll figure that out at another time. Brooks rumored to be drafted in the second round by Dallas. Yeah, I mean, so Brooks and what's his name were the two guys that could potentially go, second-ish round before some of these other guys. So Jonathan Brooks and then Trey Benson. But after that is when it's like, I wouldn't expect anything until late third round, possibly fourth round. Dang, gotta watch the audio. Oh, yeah, we already made myself a pot full of chili and a small pan of rice. If there's any leftovers, we'll make breakfast burritos. Dang, that sounds good. I made chili once in my life, and it was so unbelievably good. So I forgot who it was. One of the callers called in and gave me a recipe. I don't know if I did it exactly, but one of the things he told me to get were these, like, this can of, like, something roasted ancho chilies or something. And it's just, as soon as I opened it up, it's like, I want to eat this with a spoon. It's so good. But I got to make chili again one of these days. One thing's for certain, the Bears still suck. That's obviously. Just submitted my draft card. Might as well send me the gift card. All right, fair enough. Chris Braswell is my guy who I'm rooting for this year. I don't know why, but he just gets me excited. He has such high potential and such low key. Could be a presence. That is funny because I talked about Chris Braswell a long time ago, like when I did Edge Rushers, and he got swept under the rug because shortly after Chris Braswell, I ended up watching the two guys that I really like. Who the heck are they? One of the guys is falling like crazy here. I don't know, but Chop Robinson and whoever the other guy is, and he just kind of got swept. But I like him. I think he is a good pass rusher. He seems, and I think Preston is a good sort of comp for him. I don't care where he goes. He's my guy. You put Prison Matt. Where's Prison Matt at? I see Prison Matt. You went Cooper. I won't do all your picks, but I can see it. You're in there. I got you. All right. Yes, chili. Key is to let the onions and tomatoes mingle overnight. There it is. We got our office reference for the day. Ryan, you don't do chili. It's the most versatile meal ever created. Like I said, I did it once. It's just complicated, especially the ingredients. It's like stuff that I don't generally buy, so I don't know, whatever. Like the chilies and whatnot, and the seasonings, I don't have them. So the one day I just went and got everything you need to make chili, and I made chili, and it was delicious. Don't spill your chili. I know, I get it. I get the joke already, for crying out loud. All right, got a lot of calls to do. Garrett, let's go.
Hey, Ryan, it's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Sure, man.
Just want to make my one and only draft predictions leading up to this Thursday. I truly believe in my gut that Green Bay is going to move up in the first round to either grab an offensive lineman that they feel like they need to get or a defensive back. Then I think with their extra picks that they've got, they may be comfortable maybe trading back in one of the second round picks, only to acquire maybe another third or fourth. But there's a lot of really good quality players in the second and third round, and I think that's where they're going to snag, their safety and their linebackers that they definitely need. So they've done it before. Trade up, trade back, trade up, trade back. snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. So,
You have
but
any
I
idea
truly
the
believe they're going
toll
to move up to get somebody. There's
that
some
3
really
vasectomies has
quality
on a
guys
person?
there. I think that could make a difference in day one. So that is my first prediction.
All right, Garrett,
My
where are
second
you
one
at,
is
dude?
Beauty has this knack for picking guys that none of us saw that he was going to snag.
Pause. Garrett, I'm trying to find you in the sheet here, dog. You're talking all this game about, I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to trade. They're going to pick it. Where are you at? I don't see you in my sheet. I don't see any Garretts in my sheet. Come on, man. I put the link in there. Go ahead, do it. There's your form. I'll remind you after he's done. But come on, man. Let's get in this. $125. It's free money. Do it.
In the first round.
Free steak.
And
you ever had sirloin, honey?
I kind of think, even though he doesn't meet the parameters of what Green Bay usually picks, I really think there could be 2 guys.
Hey-o.
One, Wiggins, defensive back. The other one, Trotter, linebacker. Both really aren't physically imposing, but instincts-wise, I think could make a big difference and keep them on the field. So those are the 2 guys I think Goody might pick up that we really didn't think had that much of a chance. So, it's Garrett. I'm out. Go Pack, go. Let's get him.
Yeah, so I've highlighted Nate Wiggins. As soon as I kind of dug into him, obviously the RAS, the speed, all that stuff, it's like, I don't know, man. He kind of just feels like the thing to do. By the way, you see the comment on your screen there. I don't know why I didn't put a space. I absolutely put several spaces in there. But that's the Google Doc. Go fill it out. You got a chance to win a $125 gift card to the Fogo Brazilian Steakhouse. And all you got to do is fill that out. It's a little Packers draft game. Predict who they pick. You're good to go. Cooper and Ladd in the first round. Book it. I won't book it. Daryl says, just don't put beans in your chili. I did put beans. I don't mind beans. I'm not a beans guy, like especially growing up. I just like my uncle would make it and there was no beans and I'm like, this is the best chili. Like just don't put beans. There's not necessary. I'm getting old, and when you get old, you start not hating things as much with food. Like I'm less picky, which I'm kind of happy about. I used to be proud that I hated vegetables. Now I'm kind of like, certainly not ashamed. I don't give a crap, but it's just hard. It'd just be easier to be like, you know what? Just give me the freaking onions. Put onions on it and peppers. I don't freaking care. Just give me it. It's fine. By the way, speaking of beans, first time in my entire life, my wife and I went to a Mexican restaurant. Not my first time going to a Mexican restaurant, but we went out to a Mexican restaurant and, they give you rice and beans. And I'm like, I'm going to eat the beans. I'm going to do it. And I mixed the rice with the beans. It was so good. Nobody told me the beans were good. They looked like crap, like literal crap on a plate. Those beans look disgusting. They were amazing. People need to just tell me things. I don't understand why it's so hard to just give me the information. I think this is the one time we just need to sit put and take the best available regardless. I haven't found that we gain a supreme amount of value trading up or down. Yeah, and my whole thought on it is if everybody's going to panic, the team that doesn't panic wins. And that's why I talked about, you set yourself up so you don't have to panic when you go into the draft where it's like, bro, there's a run on tackles. If we don't get a tackle, we're screwed. You can't go into the draft that way. Let everybody else panic. If they panic, they're going to pick bad value players, and that's how good value players fall to you. So either take the overpayments if somebody wants to trade up, getting crazy trying to get Bo Nix or Penix or whoever. I don't think Penix makes it past, 17 or something? It sounds like he's going to go first half. Bo Nix might still be sitting there, though. There might be a team panic to come up. Take advantage. If they're going to overpay for our spot, fine. As much as it would suck to not have them pick, freaking take it. I don't care. Garrett says, don't live close to a Fogo. Well, I guess that's nice of you to not do it. You could still do it, and if you win, you could, donate it or I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. You don't have to do it. I'm fine if half the guys Goot takes are like massive reaches and we look back in 2 years and we laugh about how much of a Jedi mind trick master. That happens all the time. It's weird. The last couple of years, it seems like there have been less reaches, but there have been so many times it's like, bro, that was a terrible value. And then you watch him play and it was like, well, who gives a crap? Fogo was good, but the best steak I've ever had was a tomahawk steak in Qatar. dude. Best steak I've ever had was a tomahawk, but I made it on my Weber. But that sounds good. Was it the whole Salt Bay guy? I think he's got one in Qatar, doesn't he? When I read Do It Now, I imagined Dwight trying to buy Andy's ex. Do it. 3, 2, 1, do it. I have to watch The Office so I get any of these right. You do. I don't know what you're even doing with your life. Do it when you get Peacock. I always mix the rice and beans on a plate and make. That's what I did, and it was freaking amazing. Because I was like, I want to eat the beans partially because I don't want to be a grown man like sending back the beans. So I'm like, I'll just suck it up and eat the freaking beans. But I was like, it'll suck less if I mix the rice with it because the rice is delicious, and I ate it with it. It's like, holy crap, it's good. I have YouTube TV and the ability to be anywhere in the world I choose through Google Chrome. I will never pay. Okie dokie, fair enough. Garrett, number 2, what's going on?
Hey, Pack Daddy, one other thing.
Okay.
You know, I had the idea of you and your son posting at least maybe one show leading up to the draft.
Sure.
This is what you kind of need to lead off with.
Okay.
You both need to have your finished mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
And who you think Green Bay is going to pick at least 1 through 5,
okay,
if not all the way through. And share both lists with your listeners. Mm-hmm. And let's see who gets the most right.
All right.
Between you and your son. My money is on Packer Pee Wee.
Yep.
Go Pee Wee, go.
Fair enough. Well, I've got his board, so I can have that up during the stream. He's going to be down here with me, so we can look at what prospects he liked and whatnot. So that'll be available. I just got to get my crap together. He's more prepared than I am. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, I could try to put something together just so we can have a little mini competition, him and I.
Ryan, I just finished a podcast where you had used AI for your music intros. Oh my gosh, dude. You didn't just take your podcast to the next level. You took it to the next galaxy, man.
Right?
That is off the rope. I just can't even begin to express my surprise when I'm listening to Lil Wayne and then these other intros. I'm like, my goodness, AI is scary, dude.
Try to tell you.
That is scary. It's gonna legitimately put some terrible musicians who don't have any real talent out of business.
Yeah.
That is just insane, man. Insane. And I'm looking forward to the draft to seeing what you put out there for Trucker Bob and Joe Legander, man. That is insane. And just for input, my favorite music or my favorite band,
there you go,
is Journey.
Yes.
Just went to see them a week ago, 4th row. My wife, they rock, man. They rock. So I'm sure there's something the AI can put together for that. So
you know what's
looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
The moment I really got freaked out, and I was shocked to find out how good this was. It was actually Jacob from Packernet. He posted a song about Clayton. He had made the song, and I just thought he found some country song about Clayton, right? And then I went and looked at it, and he had a bunch of songs, and he found another one that was super specific about somebody else on the stream, and I'm like, this is freaking weird. Like there's no way. I don't understand. Come to find out, it was all AI, and I just lost my mind and that happens with AI. Like just all of a sudden, it kind of sucks, and then all of a sudden, it's amazing. That was with the image generation. I remember everybody found this like Dolly thing, DALL-E. And they were making all these images, and I typed in like Aaron. It was all distorted. It looked like a freaking Monet painting or something. I'm like, okay, this is stupid. All of a sudden, it's creating lifelike images, and I'm like, what just happened? That just happened with music, just now. And we're on the cusp of it happening with Sora with video. But anyways, the one that really freaked me out, so what I started doing to kind of cheat the system, because you can't put in like Journey or whatever, it'll just kind of extrapolate them, be like, okay, classic rock, blah, blah, blah. But I went over to a different robot, and I'm like, give me all the descriptions you can for the band Yes. And I took that and I plugged it in. I'm telling you, it was his voice. It was like the robot figured it out. I got to try to go back and find it, but I listened to it. I'm like, it is exactly his voice. I forget his name. But the guy from Yes, I just, that freaked me out so much because it was spot on freaking perfect. Let's see. Just got my car after work. There was a junkie outside who had to convince his phone wasn't the devil. Minneapolis man, it's no joke. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I would have even participated in that conversation, to be honest, but hopefully he figured it out. Elevated Shine, the only person I would trade up for would be Quinion Mitchell. I'm kind of in that boat, man. I feel like if I'm trading up, it's probably Quinion. The other guy I think might be worth it is Terry and Arnold. Sounds like Quinion. Like it's weird because neither of these guys are probably going to fall. But the only guy, if somebody was going to fall, the only guy that seems to be is Terry and Arnold. Quinion doesn't seem like he's going to get past much here. But if Arnold starts to slip over around here, I'm going to be kind of wondering if we should maybe go that route. Good thing you didn't get stabbed. That's true. Good thing the phone demon didn't stab you. Kyle from Madison, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? It's Kyle from Madison. How are you, my friend?
What's up, dude?
I'm sure you're really you're getting. I can just imagine I think we're similar people as far as procrastination, ADD, etc. And I can only imagine as the draft gets closer this week, you're like, oh man, I got to get all these position groups out and blah. I get it, and the work is appreciated, man. Whatever you can get done, don't kill yourself trying to get stuff out to us. The draft will happen, But it's been great.
I did a really good job of coming up with 17 different things for the draft to give you guys and doing about 42% of all of them. So you're welcome.
And I like the way you're doing things this year a lot. I don't know if this will make it before the draft, and I'm sure you'll dump the calls because
that's why we're doing the marathon.
We've already picked, but yeah, just want to call in one last time for the draft. The more I look at this, I've gone full circle about 3 times with people like Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid, and just kind of been keeping an eye on Vegas. I'm going to put my official Packers submission in, or Packernet submission in here. But I think that I don't think we stay at 25. If I had to guess, it's because we're trading down.
Yeah, same.
Because I really do think there's just so much value in the second and third round here. If you could add another second and maybe even another third, I'd probably take that. But I don't think it's going to be DeJean, even if he is.
Let me just pause there for a second. It is interesting, and obviously the Packers have their own view of things, but I could kind of see any which way because, again, this is kind of a sweet spot right here. I do think there's a ton of, and maybe they fall, Cooper and Brian Thomas even, and all those mocks, most of them he was falling, surprisingly. You could see Latham or even Fuaga Fashanu kind of getting in range. Arnold Mitchell possibly in this range, but the bottom line is I can see a scenario where they're like, let's go do it. We could package one of those third rounds, get up into this range, and again, if you've got Quinion or Arnold sitting here, I want them to do it. As much as I'm 100% on board with, dude, just let everybody else panic. You just stay cool, do your thing. We've got enough picks. If all it's going to cost is 1 third-round pick, and by the way, where did we get that third-round pick from? From a corner. You replace that corner with one of these guys, bro, you just freaking nailed it. But I tend to agree because I think of the guys that are actually going to make it kind of in this range, now we're kind of in this like Fuaga, Thomas, DeJean, not a big Mims fan, but if they like Mims, Fautanu, Wiggins, Barton, Kool-Aid. Bottom line, it's not worth trading up when you got these guys that are going to fall to you. And then as you said, it's a question of would it be worth trading back? Because Kool-Aid's probably going to be behind you. Jerzon now is behind you. Chop, I think, is a great football player. Mims and DeJean could possibly be behind you. You got Guyton. You got Powers Johnson. If you're interested, you got 1 billion wide receivers to choose from Worthy and McConkey and Coleman and Leggett and Franklin. You got offensive linemen like Sua Mataia, Zach Frazier. So I think the value here, Braden Fisk. I love Braden Fisk. The value going back is also fantastic, and Gutekunst flat out said he wanted more picks. Now, that could just be him with some gamesmanship or whatever, but it's hard to not believe that. And it doesn't have to be the first pick to be able to trade back, but I mean, anything in my mind is in play because I just think there's so many really good picks this year. And maybe it's just because I don't know. I just chose to be more positive this year or something, but I'm looking at it and I know I'm going to be wrong. They're going to pick somebody. You know what they're going to do? They're going to pick Darius Robinson. They're going to freaking trade up to get Darius Robinson, and I'm going to try to not be annoyed, but I'm going to be annoyed. But there's a really high chance this year above other years that whoever they take, I'm going to look at it and be like, all right, that's solid. So long. The thing we got to do is get out of our head about like there's going to be 3 guys we really want, right? Cooper, maybe we end up with one of these guys, or it's Kool-Aid or something, and they end up getting Tyler Guyton. And it's like, we knew that was an option. Okay with that option. Wasn't my favorite option. Now I'm kind of pissed or whatever. Like, just there's a lot of good players here, and I think we're going to end up getting one of them, and I think we're going to have plenty of time to get hyped about it. I'm mostly just talking to myself right now because I'm trying to remember, don't have a negative reaction when they draft somebody, because you're going to spend a lot of time watching them and you're going to fall in love with them. So just friggin' calm down. Like Jaden Reed. When they drafted Jaden Reed, I'm like, you freaking kidding me? And then on the stream, I went back and watched some of his film, and I'm like, oh, this guy's freaking good. This guy's actually really good. Never mind. I take back that scowl from before. I've seen 2 homeless crackheads hitting each other with cardboard boxes. I figured it was just their version of a pillow fight. I don't know. I didn't fall in about my favorite kind of music. Oh, I didn't call in, but if you're going to do an AI song, my favorite music is bluegrass, but also dubstep. Dude, I gotta ask it to do a bluegrass dubstep. That would be amazing. That'd be great. Let's see. Chili has 3 types beans. Been over the fire since 8 a.m. Use venison burger on this one. Loaded with onions and garlic. Anticipation. All right. Fair enough. Sounds like fun. Elevated Shine. To be fair, this dude was super polite. I found a phone, asked if it was his. He said yes, and calmly said he didn't want it because it was the devil. Oh, that's funny. Hey, is this your phone? Yeah, I don't want it though. That's Satan. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, I'll just put it back. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Michael Scott. Good call. To get back on topic, though, I love this draft because everyone seems to have realized that good is unpredictable, and they finally accept. This period right now is when we really just need to go through the list, look at the pick, and say, this is the pick. How do you feel? Like, are you okay with it? Like Graham Barton, like, okay, good. Kool-Aid, got it. Jerzon, Chop Robinson, great. Adonai Mitchell. Okay, that one's going to shock me, and I got to think about that for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, okay, then freaking get on it, because they're going to pick them if you're not ready. We just got to be prepared all the way through. What are we saying here? This is not impossible. This has to be impossible. Please tell. I don't think he's going in the second round. TJ Tampa's not good. Marshawn Nealon, I think, is possible. I think Lassiter is possible. As much as I don't want that to be a thing, I think it's possible. I don't know about Max Melton or Michael. So let's say to about here. Everybody up to 57, we got to make a decision. Are we going to be okay with that or not? Because that's a thing that might actually happen. Mock drafts and we all experts until Monday. I don't know. I guess. Have you checked out Jack? What? Like the movie Jack or Jack's Pizza, or what are we talking about here? Hey, there's Prince Capsaicin. What's up, man? I'm liking a trade back with Carolina to 33 to give him a first-round pick, then hoping the top 6 quarterbacks go in round 1. It's a good call. I mean, Carolina doesn't have a first-round pick. What do they have for picks in general, I'm wondering? They have a bunch of them? Not really. They have enough to move up if they wanted to, and it wouldn't cost them much to get to 25. We did that the year I think we took Kevin King, right? And that was the kind of the cool thing, because when you start off day 2, first of all, you got time to wheel and deal and make some phone calls and all that. But the other thing that's cool is you've got like an hour of coverage prior to the draft on day 2, and everybody's talking about the Packers and what they're going to do. So that's kind of a fun thing. But Yeah, I mean, so they wouldn't come up for a quarterback. I wouldn't assume they're not giving up on their guy. Would you frickin' focus on my face, you jag-off? Is my light here yet, for crying out loud? I don't know why. I guess I have a piece of crap camera is also part of the problem. It's just a Logitech 1080p. It should be fine. The time keeps getting later and later. Now it's not going to show up till 7 p.m. It won't even be here till after the draft. Anyways, day 2, I might have a face when we do this. You stupid jerk. Justin says, have you checked out Jack? And I said, what are you talking about? And he says, Mehoff. I swear. Stephen Smith, you got to trade up for a Hall of Fame type offensive tackle, protect Jordan, and plow a hole for the running backs. Yeah, bro, for real. Got to do that. Yeah, and I think there's good options. I really like Fuaga. I think he's when you talk about a guy, here's a guy. I mean, Fashanu's cool. Was it Fatanu, actually? I think either of these two guys would be good options. Fatanu is sort of that outside-inside guy, which the Packers love. So it's like you draft him, he's a tackle. Cool, he's a tackle. Right? You can go ahead and put it in quotes, and it's like this dude's playing freaking guard. He thinks he's going to make a ton of money as a tackle, but nobody gets money as a tackle here. You get moved inside to guard, we pay you guard money, and then, we might kick you back outside once in a while because we're douchebags like that. I'm 20 minutes behind, but we should all post our chili that we're making today. Bro, do I have to go upstairs and make chili? I got to thaw the meat. Actually, I don't need to thaw it. I can just go cook it frozen and cook it up. I still have those ancho chilies. I got chili powder. I don't know if I have everything else that I need. I don't have time for this. You guys should make me chili. Come bring me some freaking chili, dude. I can't be making it. I got a bag of chips and salsa because it's like I got to be sitting here for like 3 hours. So whatever it is, I guess I could send my family. Plus, you freaking jagoffs always send in money so that I have to eat vegetables. So I guess I'll be eating healthy on the stream. Although you don't have to do that. Possible 49ers trading one of their wide receivers and picks to get into the top 10. Diana Rossini. See, there's another one. There's a freaking another one. Where are the 49ers at? Wait, let me read that again. 49ers trading one of their wide receivers and picks. Who was it? Is it Brandon Ayuk? There was a whole big thing about there being some conflict there, even though that happens every year and then everything gets figured out. But that would be crazy. So they're getting, who would that even be? Tennessee's not doing it. I do know that there was some talk about if I don't get my guy, I'm moving back. Like the Chargers, I heard that. I don't know why they wouldn't get their guy. The Giants, same thing. If we don't get our quarterback, we're going back. I would be stunned if they wanted to go all the way back here, but you're going to get a haul. Holy crap. And who needs a wide receiver? I mean, the Chargers need a wide receiver, right? But you could just stay there and get a better one or a tackle. So there's that. Who else would do? Oh, Chicago. Chicago is who would do it. Look at how many picks they have. None. They have none picks. Chicago could do that. And it's technically inside the top 10, right? So Chicago gets their quarterback, and then at 9, they trade back with San Francisco. They get another long-term wide receiver. So they've got 3 receivers, one of whom is going to be gone next year, but we still got 2 solid receiving options, and we get a haul. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. That could be. It sounds crazy. I mean, to go from 31 to 9, I don't want to sit here and look up. If anybody wants to pull up a trade chart and kind of figure that out, I don't want to do that live on the stream, but that would be pricey. That'd be juicy, man. Bring on the juice, son. I want it to be a juicy stream. Don't be weird about it. I'm just saying. All right, we got 9 more calls. We got to get rocking. We're like halfway through this.
Ryan.
Yes.
It's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
What's going on, man? I don't have to pee soon, so we got to hurry up.
I called in yesterday saying you have outdone yourself. You have set a new standard.
Oh, no.
And then what do you go and do?
Yeah.
You set another new standard.
Uh-oh.
That last song that you ended on the Packernet episode.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my gosh, man. Hard rock. I don't know what you really want to call that metal.
Which one are we talking about?
I'm going to use that as my workout song. I'm just going to have to put it on endless loop somehow.
I told you this
You
music
need
is
to
good.
expand that freaking song and play that at the end of every Packernet After Dark.
Bro,
that is a win-win, baby. If I ever...
You don't understand. If I had a little bit more time, like I was working on a project to have an opening video for this. I'm not kidding, man. I'm going to be able to put together some freaking... I'm going to start working on highlight videos, especially after we draft these guys. The music that I had... Well, I mean, I'm not using it, so I could probably just... Well, I'm not going to do it because I've hyped it up now and everyone realizes that sucks. But the inspiration was Slipknot. I'll just tell you that. And I know some of you aren't into that, but just imagine like a Slipknotty song type of intensity with like the Green Bay Packers smashing the crap. That was going to be the intro to this. And I was so excited, and I'm like, okay, I was just going to rip off somebody's YouTube video and kind of like condense it so it's just a little snappier. The video would be demonetized, but I don't really care about that. They can get the credit or any money that comes in. That's fine. I just want the cool video. But that would have been freaking awesome. I just didn't have time, so I had to abandon that project and move on with my life. But there's so many cool things you're going to be able to do with that. And this is just for fun. This is me screwing around. This is, hey, I got a podcast today about tackles, and then we just open it up with tackles and make a stupid song, whatever.
Heard one. So I don't even know what you're going to come up with next, dude. But man, that one's killer. You need to tell AI to expand that and make that your cover album song. I mean, that needs to be a single all day long. I'm out.
I'm hoping everybody knows what he's talking about. If you don't listen to the Packernet podcast, and shame on you. But essentially, I've just been either starting and or ending the podcasts with AI songs. I'm trying not to just completely replace the music that has become, I don't want to say iconic and sound arrogant, but let's face it, I can't replace the intro music to Packernet podcast. So, but I've been dabbling, and it's been a fun time, and I'm excited about it. Daniel from California, tell me about pizza.
Here's my final take on the draft. It probably won't make it onto the podcast.
I got you, dog.
This draft is such a cool draft. Yes. You got 6 quarterbacks that could go in the first round, right? Is it 7? I don't even know, right? And then you got all these tackles, and then you got all these corners, and then you got these few other defensive players and all these receivers. Like, the thing we know is the NFL overvalues size, and the NFL overvalues receivers. We can get one in the 5th round and have them turn out, right? But, so, I think, I just did this PFF mock draft, and I really like what happened. Troy Fatanu, and also, who was the other guy I just got? Somebody else I really love. Oh, and Latu fell, right? And I don't know if Latu would be on the board because just with the whole injury situation, right? The doctor they use at a UCLA, he's very respected, and he did the surgery and all that stuff, right? So, like, I don't know what the Packers would think about that, but Latu fell to 25, and Fatanu was also on the board. We traded 88 and 41 to get Latu and Fatanu, just loading up on the Polynesians, right? But I would absolutely love that, and that would make us a serious contender in the run game, and also the pass rush. Just think about it. Our starting lineup is Preston and Gary, and then our second run through is Latu and Van Ness.
Yeah.
If anybody happens to go down, we got an Agbar and somebody else, I forget, the practice squad guy from Florida, I think. They come in as your third rotation. It sounds like a good thing. But I just love this draft. It's going to push everybody down. The receivers are going to go early. The big tackles are going to go early, pushing the smaller guys like Fatanu down, right? So, I don't know. I love this draft. Go Paco.
Yeah, I'm struggling with Latu. I have been this whole time. It's hard to deny, the stats and everything are right there. A lot of people that have watched him have talked about, because it doesn't look very pretty or exciting when he does stuff, but apparently it's very subtle, so it's kind of hard to pick up, supposedly. I don't know. But I watched his game that he had like 11 pressures. It was something ridiculous, and I just wasn't impressed by the game. Some of the pressures are kind of iffy, and he's so Frankenstein-y. He's so stiff that, he got behind the line of scrimmage, was right in front of the quarterback, and just didn't do anything. And it's like, he got to wait, bro. He's right in front of your face. Like, you're just so slow and clunky and stupid. But I'm assuming it's a me problem. If we end up getting Latu, I'll for sure get excited about it. But as of right now, I'm just not super interested in Latu. But to your larger point, yes, this is going to be an incredible draft. I'm very, very excited. I think there's going to be a lot of wild stuff. And the other cool thing about the draft is, somebody's up, right? So we're sitting here, we're watching the draft, and it's like, okay, we're over here. Las Vegas is on the clock, assuming they didn't get an opportunity to trade up, right? Or New Orleans. And New Orleans is sitting there, but at the same time, there's that little thought that hits you in the back of your head all of a sudden. It's like, bro, what if the Packers just popped up? You know what I mean? Like, or how many times when it's like, oh, somebody's on the clock, and you look like, what? And you just seeing if it's the Packers or what. It's crazy. And then, obviously, Detroit traded up. Like, oh, freaking Detroit, they're coming up for a corner. I know it. Which, by the way, very possible that they're going to try to move up and grab a corner. Which they might not have to because somebody might fall to them. But obviously, you don't grade them all out equally. But it's just so exciting, man. I love the draft. I really do. It's unfortunate that it got to the point where I was so exhausted because I put freaking too much on myself. It didn't appear that way. It's like, this guy's not even doing anything, and I'm doing so much, I promise you. It takes forever. But it kind of gets to the point where it's very stressful, and you kind of just want it to be on or over with or whatever. But now that we're in it and it's happening tonight, and it's like, oh, dude, I'm just freaking jacked. Elevated Shine says, am I the only one who doesn't trade with division rivals during the mocks? I don't care what they offer. I always decline the trade. I'm kind of on the opposite side of that. I just think if it's good value, just do it. I don't really fully understand and I feel like we kind of shot that down. I know you're talking about you as opposed to, what they should do or whatever, but we kind of killed that when Minnesota exclusively traded like a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was, with the Bears and the Packers. That was with the Christian Watson thing. I think we traded with Minnesota, and Minnesota also traded with the Bears, I think, at the first round. So obviously it's a thing, and I don't care. I really don't. I understand the thought of, I don't want to give them something that they want because they think it's good and that would be bad for me, but dude, screw them. I think they're wrong. We should take that spot. We should take Christian Watson. If they don't want to sit there and take him, that's because they're stupid. That's not my problem. Let's see. Agreed. Tonight will be a blast, even if the Packers don't pick. Yep, I'm all in, man. I'm excited. And it's still fun. It's still fun for me. I'm to some degree an NFL fan. Of course, you're interested in what Chicago's doing. They've got 2 picks. All the quarterbacks are going to be interesting, thinking about like what's New England going to look like with Drake May or whatever. Jaden in Washington, is that going to be a thing? And Minnesota. That's about one of the most. So the number one pick that everybody's focused on is Chicago, but one of the biggest sources of drama is Minnesota. So the NFC North has got a lot going on right now. You got second year Jordan Love. You've got first year Caleb, and you might have 3 quarterbacks in the division with, outside of Jared Goff, you got 1 cumulative year of starting experience. It's going to be really exciting, man. I can't freaking wait. Red beans and rice. I'm not sure what we're talking about anymore. Older we get, the more fiber we need. Maybe that's it. Your body's just craving beans. Eat some beans, you stupid idiot. I think Detroit wants Wiggins. That could be. I have it in the back of my head that Detroit is going to jump us, maybe to Dallas, and Dallas is going to do it because they want to screw us, right? Dallas is pissed at Green Bay. They want to get back at us, so they're going to give that pick to Detroit, and Detroit's going to take a corner. They're going to come up and take Cooper is what they're going to do. Just to stick it right in our eye socket. But that's fine. We're going to draft somebody that's going to be better, and Cooper's going to be a freaking bust in Detroit. Let's see. Hoping the Vikings sell the farm and the cabin to get a quarterback. I kind of do too. Like I said earlier, you might not have been in here, but I was very anti-trading with the Vikings. I wanted them to be stuck in their misery with no quarterback. But the more I look at it, especially if that quarterback is Drake May, the more I'm like, you know what? No, just give everything away and go get a quarterback. That's kind of what I want. All right, let's go. Uncle Rico.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
What's going on?
How are you today?
I'm great.
It's a beautiful day.
Not bad.
Anyway, I was just listening to a few of your, whatever you call those things where you go over the different positions.
Podcast.
And if I have to hear one more time where some idiot who's writing the bios on these guys says they set a personal best.
Oh, I know.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. A personal best.
Everybody sets a personal best.
State record, high school record, city record, block record, street record. The personal best. What are they? Do they have lives? Come on. They can't find anything else to put in their bio besides he set a personal best. I set a personal best by falling out of bed this morning. I hit the ground. That's the personal best fallout I've ever had in my whole life.
That's awesome.
And then
Congrats.
I ate 7 eggs. Personal best. The day before I had only ate 6.5 eggs. Come on. Do your job. Find something interesting to say. A personal best. It says nothing. Okay. I'm done ranting now. I ranted. Love y'all. Go Pack, go.
I always did wonder about that. I thought maybe it was just like a track thing. Like, I don't know. I think the larger point is probably he set a personal best, and I just kind of skipped over because I don't give a crap, but he set a personal best of this many meters in the shot put, and you're supposed to be impressed by how far he threw it. Like, this was his best, but I don't think any of us know, unless you were in track, if that's a good thing or not. So I should have just skipped that whole section, but I kind of thought the same thing, that he set a personal best in the 200 meter. Give a crap. Like, everybody has a personal best. As long as they did it, doesn't mean it was good.
Hey, y'all. Dakota, that nerd, Tennessee.
What's up? Bro, that's another song that's going to be awesome. That nerd in Tennessee. I'm sorry. I really apologize, Dakota, if you don't like country, but I can't not do country. I can't do it. You're like a Southern park ranger, and that's what it's got to be. Now, we can maybe do like some Southern rock, if we want to, go a little Leonard Skinner route or something, but we can't stray too far from it.
Well, hey, Ryan. So, a few things. First, that story that I told, I guess, was just, no, you did not prompt that from an earlier Packernet After Dark. That's just an idea I had. If it was stupid, you could tell me don't ever call again with a stupid story like that, even in the off season when we're really, really, really bored. Or, alternatively, if that wasn't absolutely dumb and it would be a good time killer, I'd absolutely tell a few stories that happened here in Memphis. Either way, up to you, I guess. So, let's see, what were the other things you mentioned? Songs. Yes, you mentioned what type of music do we listen to?
Please say country.
Dude, I listen to all of it.
There we go.
I used to be, if you can't tell, I used to be well known for listening to country, but then all this new country came out, and it's a lot of, it's hit or miss, but there's a lot of miss.
So we got to go old school country. I like that. We're going to go some old school country for Dakota, that nerd in Tennessee.
But I don't know, man. Every now and then I get into my hippie music. I get into my 90s music. I get into my 80s rock.
Yes.
Let's see. Alternative rock. Ooh, hey, if you can get AI.
Yes, I can.
Your robot, whatever its name is. If you can get that thing to do like a Cranberries thing.
All right.
I mean, Dolores, what's her name? O'Riordan, I think. R.I.P. I think she was one of the most underappreciated voices in music, at least as far as people I know. So if you could do like a Cranberries type, I don't know if it's alternative rock, soft rock, whatever kind of rock that is. Yeah, that would be great. That'd be freaking awesome. And what's that other thing? You mentioned something. Nico did something. What'd he do? He smokes cigars. What's up, dude? I got into cigars like in the past year. I got really heavy into them. So, just curious, man. Anybody that smokes cigars, including Nico? what's your favorite ones? What kind of stuff do you like? I'm very partial to the McAllis Blue Toro. I'm very, very partial to it. Can't figure out what type of tobacco I like, but whatever. I'm still experimenting. Anyway. All right, y'all. Peace.
So here's the deal. I don't know if I can do your song as the Cranberries or Dolores O'Riordan or whatever her name is. But I definitely want to do a Cranberries inspired song. In fact, that's got me thinking about other like 90s female vocalists and stuff. There were some good ones, dude. Who am I thinking of? I can't think now. Anyways, yeah, we got to do some Cranberries type stuff. But for you, I don't know that I can swing that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Brambo, he's in the house. What's going on, man? Welcome to the party. All right, we got 5 more. Dakota, what's going on?
Hey, this is Dakota, that nerd in Tennessee again. I guess I'm getting in the habit of calling back twice.
It's all right.
Anyway, I actually have a real, actual football-related, draft-related question.
Yep.
So I don't know, I haven't looked into it at all, and I've stated that multiple times. But I do, I guess, have oh dear Lord, that's crush, there we go. And I'm trying to remember his name. Is it Isaiah? Let's see, the Jackrabbits, running back. Isaac or Isaiah, whatever. I'll remember in a minute.
Davis.
I remembered like literally the second before I called you. Isaiah Davis. Hey, look it up. I think he is he's going to be one of the guys that comes out of this draft that, you know, does way better than people think he's going to. And then a few years into it, people are just going to question why did nobody think he was going to do that well? You know, you look at the statistics, not statistics, but whatever.
That's so stupid. Look at that.
Whatever the statistic-based stuff is that you look into for football.
Yeah.
He's pretty much, you know, kind of the Zach Tom of this draft, I guess.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
So my question to you is, of all the people that you've been looking at,
oh, stupid.
I won't get drafted the highest because consensus is not the greatest on them, but in a couple years, everybody's going to be questioning why was the consensus not higher. Anyway, thank you for whatever you're going to answer. Peace.
I don't know if I just lost everybody, but my whole thing just froze. I've never had that happen before. Oh boy. Are you guys there? I should check. Let me see if my stream is still going. I can't even tell. It's just freaking whatchamacallit. The thing I'm streaming on froze, so let's see if I got me here. We all still in the house? Don't leave me. Frickin' computer just froze up on me. Ay. All right, anyways, I'm just trying to answer simple frickin' questions here. Trying to do too many things at once. All I want you to do is search Isaiah. He's not even on this list. Did I spell it right? Probably because he's a smaller school guy, so that, hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks, I appreciate you. Almost everybody left, but the YouTube people hung out. The Twitter people are like, F this guy. Anyways, what the heck was your question? I was trying to get back on. I heard your whole call, and I'm guessing it was more or less who's my... So that was my whole podcast thing today, was about like getting into the stats. Who's the Zach Tom guy? I'm trying to think of a couple names that popped up real quick. Tight ends, I didn't think there was Jack. I mean, the good ones were... Oh, you know what? Corner was actually really interesting. Let me see if I can remember who it was here. So, Elijah Jones is a big one. So Elijah Jones, obviously Boston College, so he's got the connection, not only the school, but also being a DB, so the scheme and all that's there. But also, he's actually really high, as you can see. This is the total rating for SIS, and it's 99, which is as high as you can get. He's up there with Terrion Arnold and Nate Wiggins. There's several different things where Elijah Jones is really high. The other one is Cam Hart. So Cam Hart and Elijah Jones, I mean, if you're talking Zach Tom, if you don't know, I've talked about this before. The reason I fell in love with Zach Tom is I was just going through SIS data, which is now at 3013. You can go find this right now if you want. And I was just seeing like who kind of grades out with the advanced analytics the best. And Zach Tom kept popping up. I'm like, I don't even know who the heck this is. But yeah, I think both of them are, if I'm not mistaken, or at least close. Cam Hart and Elijah Jones, their size is solid. Neither of them are like real tiny guys, so they both make sense. In fact, I think, although Elijah Jones wasn't the best when it comes to man, he was more zone. He did a lot of snaps in man, if I'm not mistaken. Where did I find that? I don't know. I can't. But obviously, because it was the same scheme, he's very familiar with playing a lot of man coverage and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it was in the box, I think is what it was. Or man percentage? Cam Hart. So Cam Hart was the second highest in man coverage. Whatever. Point is, those are the two guys that kind of stood out at corner. There's a bunch of others. We already talked about safety and some of those guys. Some of them are much deeper dives, real late round kind of guys to keep an eye on. But the corners I thought were really interesting because those are two guys that I think could be legitimate, not early, but not super like late seventh round. We're talking mid round, good fit type of guys. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a Rosengarten. You dork. I wish I liked Rosengarten because, I mean, he was also pretty high on a lot of the advanced metrics. There's a lot of talk about the Packers could possibly take him in the first round or that in some way he's going to slip into the first. So I'm really concerned that Rosengarten is the pick because that's another guy I didn't really like a ton. Where is he at on the consensus here? Did I miss him already? He can't be this low, can he? The heck is Rosengarten? Oh, there he is. He's all the way down there. I don't know. I didn't care for it. If the Packers take him, I'm going to be a little bit sad, but I'll frickin' get over it. Yeah, Boston College guys, man. Especially, I mean, again, it's not just some random. Well, it's Boston College, so he's going to do it. I mean, he fits. The RAS is there. The height and weight is there. The familiarity with the scheme is there. The actual talent. When you look at the statistics and all that, I mean, it's there. He's a good player. So I don't think that would be a terrible thing. McCormick is way better. Who's McCormick? Is that a different Boston College guy? I don't even know, man. I just went through the stats, and what's his nuts was there the whole time. All right, let's finish this before my computer officially just blows up. Tom in Flagstaff, Arizona. What's going on?
Hey, Packernet Ryan.
Hey.
It's draft eve.
Yeah.
It'd be fun, huh?
Jacked, man.
If I were to guess, it's 50-50. Stay at 25 or trade down. I think it's very unlikely to trade up. But who knows?
All right.
I'm just a GM here in northern Arizona without a nickname. But that's okay.
We can work on
It'll
that.
happen. Hey, you know what I find interesting about their re-signings and things? It dawned on me that going with rookies everywhere and first-year, second-year players, but the re-signing of the special teams guys, they're more experienced. And I remember back in the day, somebody'd get hurt and they'd have to bring in a special teamer, and he was a rookie or something. He couldn't really help the offense or defense very much. But now you've got a situation where you're replacing a rookie. Let's say somebody gets hurt and you've got a special teamer who's been around 3, 4, 5 years. They come in, and then you've got experience. I don't know if this is a strategy or just how this is working out, but I think it's pretty cool. Quite useful. What do you think?
It was a draft war room. It was fantasy
Hey, enjoy
football.
your show. You guys take care. See you later.
I appreciate that. And I am excited that they're invested. You know, Eric Wilson is a big one. Now, that might just be we need the linebacker depth. But, I mean, he's a very good special teamer. And you're right. They have made a concerted effort to make sure that the special teams guys, that they end up staying and they're able to continue to contribute. That was one of the issues I think we had last year. It was a massive amount of turnover. I mean, first of all, new punter, new kicker, new long snapper. That's ridiculous. And then on top of that, a lot of our top special teamers did not come back. So there's just not a lot of cohesion, and it's hard to maintain that because these are bottom of the roster guys that you're constantly trying to churn over. So it gets to be difficult to keep that cohesion, but I think they did a pretty good job this year, especially with the guys that matter, right? There's a lot of guys that are on special teams, but they're not very good at it. But again, highlighting Eric Wilson, that was one of the big ones I really wanted back. Even like Zane Anderson, it's just special teams that they contribute. Let's bring him back. And if it doesn't work out, if we just have so many safeties that can contribute on defense that we just can't justify keeping a guy like Zane or whatever, fine. But I would like to at least start with the premise of let's make sure we invest in special teams because, I mean, we've seen the difference. That's the thing. We want to pretend like special teams doesn't matter. Don't draft kickers or punters. Don't ever do this. Don't ever put money in it. Don't just screw special teams. And then when you have a terrible special teams to the point where it's like a historically bad special teams and you think that your chances of going to the Super Bowl are zero because of special teams, and then the next year you have one of the best special teams, at least the second half of the season, the night and day difference is massive. And now we've got this new kickoff rule, so it becomes even more important that you have good special teamers. So, yeah, I'm with you, and I think we may see a continuance of that. I'm hoping that this kickoff thing has a big impact on the game so that, your kicker matters more, your returner matters a ton more, all the blockers, all the gunners, all the guys trying to stop them. It becomes a much more important part of the game, right? So that we can't just treat special teams like some cast-off nonsense, like a lot of teams like to do.
Yeah, Ryan, this is Bill in South Carolina.
What's up?
Usually check out after the season's over until actual draft day. I don't really get into the mock drafts and stuff.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that Goody has enough credibility from his drafts that I have no worries at all. Like, I got million % faith in Goody and his team, and Packers, whoever we pick, most likely is going to do. We're going to do very well with that. So, looking forward to the draft. I do like. I'm a Clemson fan, but I do like Nate Wiggins. I don't know if he's going to drop to us, but
sure,
that guy's a player, is a baller. That would be a great player for us, but I don't know if he's going to fall that far. But like I said, whatever Goody does, he's got all the credibility in the world. He's a master, and so go Pack, go later.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it. I said it yesterday on Matt Ramage's show, but all the Goot haters have had a rough couple years, man, because aside from the no Super Bowls thing, I mean, these drafts have been really high quality. It's going to be hard to sustain. He's going to have bad drafts. It might be this year. It might be next year, whatever. It happens, right? This is not 100% certain. Sometimes you're really on a roll. Sometimes you're not. These things happen, but no, he's done a great job. Not just him, but him and his staff. He's assembled a great staff. They've got some, man, what is that guy's name? Who was initially, I think, from Baltimore. Really, really high-end guy that I was so excited that we were able to get. But there's so many really talented scouts and guys that just do things the right way. And, I mean, when you do stuff the right way and you see all the picks, I mean, that's a big part of it. It's a lot easier to get more hits when you have more swings. But I am excited, and I do have faith in him also. Again, I understand that there's going to be bad drafts, and sometimes it's going to suck, and some of these picks are going to suck. There's no doubt. But I'm excited. And then, yeah, that's the other cool thing is you look at Nate Wiggins, right, who I think is a very plausible pick for the Packers. If he was on the board and didn't get picked by the Packers, in other words, he slides to the back, possibly out of the first round, that wouldn't massively surprise me, but at the same time, if Nate Wiggins was gone like here, also wouldn't surprise me. And that's a lot of these guys. That was one of the fun things about a couple of days ago when I went through all the different mocks to see the different variants. I mean, you got Terry and Arnold down here available for the Packers. You've got, Latu could be inside the top 10. He might not go in the first round. He probably will because as we heard, a lot of teams have medically cleared him and most see him as the top pass rusher. So one of those teams is going to pull the trigger, but who knows? And maybe medically cleared could mean different things. Medically cleared, but I'm still a little nervous. He might slide. Fashanu. I mean, this guy should be, in my opinion, a top 10 pick. And if he is, that would not be shocking at all. I mean, you could have a situation where the Chargers take one and then Fashanu goes 7. Entirely possible. Also possible, he slides within striking distance. So, yeah, I mean, I that's the other thing I love about this draft is there's so many options and there's so many things like Jared Verse. I mean, teams that need a pass rusher could absolutely take Verse in here. He could slide out of the first round. I don't know what's going to happen with Jared Verse. I have no idea. If Chop Robinson is seen as a better pass rusher than Verse, especially, he's really going to slide. And so, yeah, one of my favorite aspects of this draft is I'm not sitting here going, okay, so we know what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we know basically what all these picks are going to be, and then we kind of have an idea. Dude, I have no idea. I know who Chicago's taking. Very positive who they're taking. Pretty sure they're going to take Drake May. And then it kind of gets, there's more like a handful of options here, but we kind of got a general idea, but not really. And on all the different things, whether or not they make a trade, when they make a trade, who makes a trade, for what, it changes everything drastically. And then again, you can sit here and say, well, this team's probably going to take a corner. Well, are they going to take Quinion Mitchell? Are they going to take Terry and Arnold? Are they going to take Kool-Aid? Are they going to take Wiggins? That changes everything. And then you start analyzing, you start looking at the teams and you go, I mean, these guys don't need corners. So that guy could slip to here, It's just, I don't know. I'm excited about it, man. Real excited. Elevated Shine says, see y'all at the draft, Steam. I'll see you there, man. I'm excited about it. Boz is in the house, says, remember that dark ages under Sean Slocum? I don't. I do remember. So I was kind of a weirdo. I mean, obviously as a big Packer fan, but I would watch the draft as a kid. I remember being at my grandma's house and I was sitting on the floor, they must have had a remote, but I was sitting on the floor by the dials and just closer to the TV, one of those big freaking heavy things. And I remember it just being like a ticker at the bottom. Like I in my mind, in my memory, I could be wrong. I don't really even remember a lot of announcements. There was like general talking and it was probably when there was like 12 rounds or something. But I remember sitting there through that, and that was brutal. And I didn't know any of the players. I wasn't researching. I didn't even know how to research it. It didn't have freaking internet. It was like 1992. I don't know. But I just remember sitting there watching the names scroll by on the little ticker on the bottom to see who the Packers drafted, just because I wanted to see. I don't know. Steven says, buckle your britches and tighten your belts. It's closer to Roger time. Do you have like a random sentence generator somewhere or something? I don't know. Zach Hill says, oh, hey guys, somebody said there's a draft today. Really? I'll have to look into that. All right, we got 2 more, and then I get to pee. Snacks, what's up?
Hey! What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
How we doing?
I'm good.
How's your springtime running along?
It's getting there, getting a little warmer. 53 right now.
Well, draft day is upon us.
It's here.
And I just don't, it's hard, man. It's really hard for me to get excited about any of it, like looking at mock drafts.
Yeah.
And who's going to go where.
I'm kind of similar. As much as I'm very invested in the draft, I couldn't give a crap who you draft. I don't usually do mock drafts. I do it mostly for the show. I don't enjoy it. I get nothing out of it. It doesn't really do anything for me. Occasionally you kind of get an idea of like, okay, you get a little bottleneck here, but every year it's the same. I can tell you right now, by the 5th round, it's all running backs. That's what happens every single time. So I don't know if it's just the way these simulators are built or whatever, where because it's a lower value position, they just don't pick them, and then there's a bottleneck of running backs and linebackers. But yeah, I don't find it to be immensely fun. It's kind of the same crap over and over again. I end up picking the same players over and over again and ignoring a bunch of guys that are there that I just don't know or don't like or don't care about. Yeah, I'm over mock draft season, man. As much as I get annoyed with people who get annoyed with mock drafts, I'm kind of secretly one of those people. Like, I don't care. Do a mock draft. That's cool. But somebody will send it to me like, what do you think of my mock? I'm like, it looks great. I don't know. Like, it's fine. It's sweet, I guess. I don't know. It looks like everybody else's mock draft. I don't know what you want me to say.
And blah, blah, blah. It's just, and none of it matters.
Right.
Because some of them are going to work, some of them aren't. And it's like, I don't know, all these people that are sitting around and stressing themselves out over.
I'm stressing.
I feel like it's just a massive waste of time.
I'm stressing.
But now that the day is upon us, it's kind of cool.
Yes.
Just to see how it does unfold. And the other thing is, you never know how any good any of these people are going to be anyway. But I just find it interesting for the Packers, now that we've gotten a little bit better, are they going to do the best available, which they tend to always do? Or are they going to listen to Jeff Hafley and be like, all right, these are my positions of need, and go after it this way? I really, really, really hope it's the former, and not the latter. If for some reason wide receiver is the best player available they have in that first round, I wanted to take a wide receiver. I know that sounds stupid, but I just feel like that process of all the years and years and years of examples is the one that works best.
Yes.
And I really just want quantity. And at some point, Gutekunst is actually proven, although I think it was a 21, which is the worst draft ever, but he's proven that he's capable of drafting, right? So as many picks as we get, you just want to try and hit on maybe 3 of them. If you're lucky, maybe 4. I mean,
sure.
Or you get lucky as we did last year and you just flop the nuts straight. Either way, can't wait to laugh at Mel Kiper all night.
Yep, that'll be good.
And listen to everybody rap about it on your podcast later. Hope you're well, buddy.
I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm going to make it through. We only got one more call. No, I agree. Let's do best player available. Here's what I think. I know there is a tendency when you get a new DC in here to say, like, what do you need to run your system? And if we're missing something, they're going to push it a little bit. I don't know if we're missing anything, though, to be honest with you. I mean, our defensive line is I mean, if the standard is, can you run your defense, or are we missing a critical piece? I don't think we're missing a critical piece. I mean, whether you like Quay Walker or not, he can do what you need him to do. We might need linebackers, that's true, but we'll figure that out. We got a defensive line. We've got pass rushers that can play. We went out and got Xavier McKinney, right? That was a big need. Boom, it's done. We got Jair Alexander. You might not like who the number 2 is or whatever, but who gives a crap? Like, you got the guys to run the system. So, I'm sure he has put in a wish list, just like Matt LaFleur has, and Gutekunst will take that into advisement. But I just don't think we're in a situation where we can't run our system, because at every level we've got guys that can get it done. So, your call didn't make... Oh, bro, I got you right now. You got the last call right here. It's my buddy Daryl in Lubbock, Texas.
Hey, man, it's Daryl. Yeah, dude, that song at the ending of the episode, like 2 days ago, is like that classic, like 80s hair metal.
Yes.
The lyrics are absolutely funny as hell, man. And it actually sounded pretty damn good, the instrumentals. But, hey, I just wanted to call in. It's been a while. I want Cooper DeJean on the Packers. I don't care if we have to trade up to the 2019-18 spot to get him. I want him on this defense. I think he'll be huge for us. Of course, if we end up getting one of the tackles, I'm 100% behind that too. I just don't want to see some pick out of left field.
Yeah.
Anyways, brother, I'm excited for the draft. Got my Captain Morgan private stock and Dr. Pepper ready. Got the guacamole and dips and all that queso. But
dang. I just got chips and salsa.
I'll be on the live show later on this evening. Later, man. Bye.
It was good hearing from you, Daryl. I haven't kept up with you much. Hopefully your kid's still doing well and everything. But yeah, Cooper DeJean it's funny because there was a point in time where I would have given anything for him to be on our team, and then it felt like it was out of reach. And at this point, like, we've talked about it so much, it feels boring. And for some reason in my brain, it's like I don't want him because it's a boring pick. And I need to get re-excited about him. I feel like in the little bit of time that we have between, it's 5 o'clock now, at 6:30 we're doing the stream. I got an hour and a half. I'm just going to go pound highlights. Like, I'm not watching tape or film. I mean, screw that. We're doing highlights. I'm watching Latu highlights. I'm watching freaking Jared Verse highlights, Fuaga, Cooper DeJean. Like, you get 5 minutes each. and we're just pounding highlights. But I just want to get it. Like Jerzon Newton. Dude, there was a time when he was like, no chance he makes it past the top 15, but he's a freak. I would do anything to get Jerzon Newton. Now we look at it and it's like, nah, Jerzon. Like, it's like we got spoiled little brats about this stupid process. At least I have, where it's like, he's not good enough. Technically, according to the analytics. Dude, he's a freak. Shut up. It would be amazing if he was on our team. All right, let's rip through these comments, and then I have to get out of here. Let's see. Where are we at here? I missed something. Okay, so Prince Capsaicin says, BPA and a positionally unbalanced draft class means we would be taking wide receiver and O-line with all our early picks. Well, and that's the reason I started saying we need to be prepared for the Packers to possibly take wide receiver, as much as it doesn't seem that way. Because when you look at how loaded it is, even though technically it's kind of like, 30s and 40s or whatever, where those guys fall, depending on the Packers board, that's probably going to be one of the more prevalent positions, and the odds that one of them is at the top is not, it's pretty likely. Let's put it that way. Cooper DeJean is the next Rod Woodson. Hey, a fellow Lubbockite. What's going on? All right, well, those guys are best friends now. All right, I got to go. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go watch some highlights. I suggest you do the same thing. Please, 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 please be back here, 6:30. We're starting the live stream. Probably should not call in until the draft starts, and then we can talk about the draft, ideally after the Packers pick if they do, so that we can kind of all be on the same page. But up to you. You guys have a good couple hours of highlights, and I will talk to you very soon.